Are we live on both? Hey, I am doing a damn, let me do this again, bro. Shaz. I'm live on Twitch and YouTube right now, I'm not gonna lie to you. So you gotta kinda like work with me real quick. Oh, shit, I don't remember my password. Hold up. How the fuck I forget my password, bro? That shit don't make no sense. Yo! 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 Let's make sure everything's structured on both sides. Twitch. Everything structured. Everything structured. All right, hold up, hold up. This shit fire though. All right, hold up, hold up. Everything structured. Okay, so OBS we good. Streamlabs. OBS we good. Streamlabs. We Gucci. We Gucci on his side. Are we good? I'm on Twitch and YouTube right now. So look, you gotta work with me. Work with me. But we're good, man. Uh, first ever. Oh, let me read this. First ever live dual live stream ever for me. Twitch and YouTube. So you got oh shit. I got some shit caught in my throat. Fuck. Alright. You gotta kinda work with me. So I am on a MacBook. So like if I'm flipping through certain things to read chat, that's the reason why I'm probably looking down at my phone. Cause I am it's oh wait, I gotta refresh this one. Is everything structured? I might not be able to do a stream. Not gonna lie. Damn, that's bad. Yeah, we ain't be able to do it. Hold up, man. Stream on this one. Let me see something real quick. I don't know if it's gonna fix up. Hold up. Gotta wait. Damn, that's bad. Yeah, we ain't be able to do it. Hold up, man. Stream on this one. I don't know if it's gonna fix We up. Good? Gotta wait. Damn, that's bad. Yeah, we ain't be able to do it. I think we good. I don't know if it's gonna fix We good? Gotta wait. All right, we good. All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome to my first ever YouTube stream. I usually do stream on Twitch. Um, as you can see, I'm gonna correct my my fucking name shit right there. If you can see at the bottom right there, I'm gonna fix all that. I'm gonna just do that after. I had it set up to where like it was on Twitch like that, so where people could kind of like go to my YouTube, go to my Instagram, go to my Twitter. But this is my first ever YouTube stream, so I'm actually curious of what I could watch on here, because there's a couple of things I want to get to, but I don't know. This is gonna be interesting. This is my first ever YouTube stream, so I don't know what I can react to, what I can't react to, what I can watch. I don't know if I could listen to music the same. Honestly, I think streaming on Twitch was probably like the better of that, due to me, you know, doing that type of shit. I don't know. We're gonna see how that go, honestly, but like, oh man. How y'all doing today, though? Doing that type of shit. How y'all doing today? Today is a great Monday. I just woke up about an hour ago, maybe. And I was like, well, first, I ain't gonna lie, I got a notification. I woke up this morning. Well, not this morning, but an hour ago. But basically, I woke up and the first thing I seen was on Instagram was a Robert Downey Jr. post. And it was a picture of, let me actually show y'all. If y'all follow Robert Downey Jr., RDJ, i.e. Iron Man or Doctor Doom, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was so crazy how it popped up on my timeline, and I was like, wow. But this right here, as we all know Doomsday is coming out. So I seen this, and I was like, oh shit. And I ain't gonna lie, it was crazy how it happened, because I remember seeing something before I even went to sleep, and it was saying how Fandango was predicting like the trailer was gonna drop today, or in like 30 minutes or an hour, whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna take a nap, probably wake up, trailer drop, react. You know what I'm saying? Watch it with the guys. You know, you watch it with y'all, the fam. And I was like, all right, that'll be good. That'll be a good little thing to wake up. You know how when you get some punani that you didn't even know that you was about to receive until you receive it. It was like unexpected punani, and that's the best punani you could get because it's unexpected. You ain't. It's not like you went out to like go try to get it. It's like she wanted you to beat it up. it's not like you needed the urgency of getting this punani. It was more like, oh, I'm happy that you brought this to me. Like, I'm actually like genuinely highly appreciative of you willingly giving me your punani to beat up. This is the same thing. It's like I woke up to blessings. You know what I'm saying? I ain't expect this today for real, cause you know they've been Marvel been prolonging the fucking trailer, but I don't know how long. But I ain't gonna do too much talking honestly, cause I low key want to just get straight into this. I'm so happy. Like I'm a big Marvel fan, bro. I've been watching Marvel since I was like I don't know how long. Like if you count all the old movies, as for like Blade, old Ghost Rider, um, shit like that. The old Hulk movie, the old Incredible Hulk that came out in like 2003. Like them movies, I grew up religiously watching them bitches back to back to back to back to back. You know what I'm saying? And them movies ain't never let me down. They still carry weight. They still hold their own. No matter how long ago it was. No matter how great now animation or whatever CGI and all that shit good at now. But that's what I grew up on. And I've been watching that since I was young. And I just love the path where Marvel is at now. People can hate on it all they want. Me personally, I love it. I don't care. Like, of course, it has its downfalls. It has its times where it's like the highs are the highs, and then it plateaus, and then it might drop a little bit. But it'll never, to me personally, it would never like steep low. You know what I'm saying? I think the only thing that was probably like not even low, but like low to where like standards to me was probably Secret Invasion, because that shit didn't even mean nothing to the timeline now. You could just call that like a genjutsu. Like that shit just that motherfucker was a fever dream. We supposed to forget that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it happened in the timeline, but like we supposed to forget that shit. Kind of like that was a hiccup in Kang's tendency plan of like the multiverse happening. You know what I'm saying? Like he kind of like sprinkled that motherfucker like, oh yeah, this happened, but let me throw you off. Like, and that was just part of like that was part of the multiverse plan. You know what I'm saying? We just trying shit. That's just Kang doing shit. But we're gonna kind of forget about it because guess what? It's part of the multiverse. Because we could forget about it if we want to. You know what I'm saying? Like the multiverse plan, I get it, Marvel. I ain't gonna lie. The multiverse thing is basically a plan. Like it's a good idea because in Kang's eye and the people that's watching, us the viewers watching it, Kang is the one that's controlling the multiverse, right? He's controlling everything that's happening in the timeline. So he could kind of like force that and be like, oh, that was part of the multiverse happening because y'all let this happen. The Avengers open up the multiverse path of happening. Therefore, I could just throw that in there as if like, oh yeah, I did that. But really and truly, this is Marvel really just trying shit. And they just saying, yeah, this part of the multiverse timeline. So like we could kind of just like do shit, throw shit at the wall and hope it stick. If it don't, then let that motherfucker slide off the wall. But if it stick, it stick. You know what I'm saying? But fuck, shit bit as hell. That's the only thing about the multiverse timeline that's going on. Like shit could stick, and some shit just don't stick. And that was one of the ones that just didn't stick. But I kind of want to get straight into it. I wish I could stream on Twitch though. I ain't gonna cap. But let me see. I kind of want to get straight into it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my gosh! And let me close Streamlabs because I might delete Streamlabs honestly now that I think about it because I could just convert over and over to like whatever I want. All right. Let me see something real quick. Let me see how this look. Two minutes and 24 seconds. Wait, before this happened, hold up. I gotta make sure everything's structured. Gotta make sure everything's structured. I'm not gonna lie. Can't be doing this and everything not structured. You know what I'm saying? Gotta make sure everything's structured. I'm not gonna lie. Hey man, if y'all are new in here, if you're not subscribed to the channel already and you just a new viewer to my live stream, this is my first ever live stream on YouTube. So I want y'all to just kind of like up, you know what I'm saying? Like, comment, subscribe. I do daily vlogs just about every day. Not every day, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I try to upload at least like 3-4 times a week. But this is my first ever YouTube stream. I usually stream on Twitch. It's Swerve 00K on Twitch. Y'all go tap in. But I ain't gonna do too much because I low-key want to just kind of hop right into this fucking reaction. Not gonna lie to you, like, I don't want to block y'all view. So let me see if I can fix. I'm gonna put this leg right here. Put me right here. Put me right there. Yeah. I don't want to block y'all view. So let me see if I can fix. I'm gonna put this leg right here. That should be good. That should be good.
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter.
I have to make sure.
Something's coming. Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
Wait. This is Robert Downey Jr. talking? Oh shit, this made my dick hard. Oh shit, hold up. This nigga speaking in a whole different accent. I fuck with this. I ain't never expect this.
It's coming.
I gotta get immersed. Hold up.
Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
I've fought with many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together, and they died. They died facing...
Why the fuck Thor sound different though? I don't know. Hold up. This don't feel real. Cause why the fuck Thor sound different? Thor sounds. Wait, run this back from the top, bro. Cause Thor sound different as hell. I gotta run this back to the top, bro. It's been too long, bro. They've been prolonging this shit.
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable
fought with many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together, and they died. They died facing enemies and threats that scared me far less than this one. Everything that they sacrifice will be for nothing if we do not stand together.
This nigga thing smart. Wait, pause. What the fuck? Bro, y'all gotta start calling this nigga Ben Grimm. Fuck all that thing, bro. Cause I was like, this thing. I said, this nigga thing. I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga, like, nigga is the thing. But like, his name is the thing. Like, y'all gotta start calling this nigga Ben, bro.
Everything that they sacrifice will be for nothing if we do not stand together. Put aside your petty squabbles.
That was fire. That was a fire transformation. That was a fire transformation.
Put aside your petty squabbles. And presume nothing except this. If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters. Mark my words. We're going to need a miracle.
Hold up.
Sisters. Mark my words. We're going to need a miracle.
Again, Thor? Oh my gosh, hold up. I can't be doing this. Hold up. Everybody, this shit crazy. What the fuck?
Mark my words. We're going to need a miracle.
Hey, pal.
It's not possible.
Nah, that's a motherfucking trailer. I'm about to rewatch this shit again. Hold on, rewatch it from the top. I feel like I watched the movie already. Goddamn.
Something's coming.
Bro, his voice, his accent, RDJ's accent on this. I got hiccups. Hold up. His accent is so heavy that I didn't realize this was him. Like, I mean, I could assume that it was somebody else, but it's like when I realized this is his accent. That shit crazy. Cause I didn't expect this from him. Like, I know he could do accents. Like, if you ever watch Tropical Thunder, bro. Go watch that shit. When he was cosplaying as a black man. That's a funny ass movie. But, like, you know what I'm saying? That's a basic accent. You know what I'm saying? That's like not a basic accent, but like it's still American. You know what I'm saying? It's American still. This is a whole like distant Europe. What the fuck Dr. Doom from? Like Valeric? I don't know. Valcatraz, some shit like that. I don't know. I forgot the fucking name, bro. But like the nigga accent is so deep and heavy that I didn't realize this was him, and I didn't think this was his bag. I truly did not believe this was in his bag, bro. Like, this shit crazy.
Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
I like his outfit so far, like the hood. His mask low key fire already, and all I seen was the side view.
I've fought with many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together.
Wait, so hold up.
They were far stronger warriors in my time.
Okay, so now I'm putting it together. So if you if y'all have watched the Thunderbolts movie, there was a Fantastic Four ship on the way, and they spotted it. So now that we know, because if you realize this the same, wait, so that mean they all must have pulled up right away, them two, cause
Far stronger.
if you realize they all in the same outfit, he in the same outfit as the end credits scene. So that mean honestly, this is like right away.
Us put together.
Is that is this the Sentry? I think that's the Sentry sitting there in the corner. That's the strongest nigga in the fucking room, besides Thor.
And they died.
Namor just wait.
And all of us put together. And they died.
Why he sound like that though? Why Namor flexing? This nigga got fucking reptilian skin, scales on his outfit and shit. Big belt buckle or whatever, like that's part of the jacket. And he got to pop his collar and shit. He got blue on the interior on the garments, green scales on the arm sleeves. You know what I'm saying? He low key styling. I'm not gonna lie, he really aura for me right here because he got his staff. He got his own little king throne, popping his collar, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he looked like a villain low key. He low key looked like a villain. I wouldn't be surprised if this nigga joined forces with Doctor Doom. I'm not gonna cap.
They died facing enemies.
You see what I'm saying? Like I think just based off of this alone. Cause if Black Panther, Wakanda Forever ended off with them calling a truce and being together, you know what I'm saying? And now that they're attacking them, it might be either on cautionary reasons because everybody else that's in the room with them, or it's possible that he just joined Doctor Doom. I ain't gonna capture you. He might have.
Threats. That scared me far less.
I want to see the statue real quick.
And threats.
I was trying to see what the statue is, but I can't really tell.
That scared me far less than this one. Everything that they sacrifice will be for nothing if we do.
Wait, hold up.
Everything they sacrifice will be for nothing if we do not stand together.
Like, bro, look at this nigga, bro. This nigga small as hell. And y'all want to talk about the Hulk? Man, the Hulk gonna beat the fuck out this. Dog, the Hulk would put this nigga in the fucking ground, bro. Nigga would look like a fucking pebble. Bro, the Hulk would laugh. The Hulk wouldn't even beat this nigga, bro. The Hulk would laugh. And I ain't talking about Smart Hulk or Bruce Banner, bro. I'm talking about the actual angry Hulk. This nigga ain't never laughed, ever. Besides that little smirk he did in Avengers, the first one. Nigga, he gonna actually laugh, my nigga. Like, it's gonna actually break the fourth wall laugh. Like, he gonna look at the camera like, are y'all serious right now? And then gonna look at the camera like, look at this guy. This guy right here. This little orange little pebble to me. Boy, I flick this nigga gonna fly 5,000 feet. What the hell? That nigga gonna break if he really swing his ass. What the fuck?
Put aside your petty squabbles. Presume nothing except this. If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters. Mark my words.
This shit aura right here, bro. This is an aura ass scene. This nigga not even budging. This nigga ain't moved one bit. All he did was move his head to look up, bro. Nigga staying 10 toes in the field, bro. This nigga doing really about his business, bro. That man ain't coming to play, man. Nigga said, bro, fuck what y'all talking about. Nigga, this shit gonna happen one way or another. It's gonna happen. And it's gonna be in my fucking hands to happen, my nigga. You ain't changing that, bro. You ain't altering my course, nigga. That nigga Thanos you thought you fought? Man, that nigga ain't nothing but a fucking mule, nigga. That nigga's a mule carrying my load, nigga. My load. And guess what? This nigga ain't do the job right. Bet. Nigga, I had to be reincarnated and had to do this shit myself, nigga. This nigga Doom different, dog. This nigga standing in the field, head and shoulders like these, nigga. Shoulders out, wide, back straight, head up, standing 10 toes in the field, nigga. Nigga not budging, bro. That nigga is not moving, bro. He is not moved by your tactics, your little jump with lightning. You trying to get this extra momentum with the right swing. No, nigga. I'm not moved by this, nigga. You don't fear me, nigga. You see me? Nigga, I'm not shaking. I'm not Thanos, nigga. I'm not him, bro. I'm me. I'm him, nigga. I'm not him. I'm him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not him. I'm him. All that for this. This nigga stop that shit, bro. What the fuck? He stopped this shit with 2 fingers. What the fuck? Wait, dead ass 2 fingers? Hold up. He dead ass put 1 hand up. 2 fingers. 2 fingers. 2. Yeah, somebody. I ain't gonna lie. It's gonna be a couple of niggas that's gonna like. They gonna be RIP. RIP to them boys, man. I ain't gonna cap to you. RIP them boys, man. I don't know who, but RIP them, because this nigga just stopped Thor in his path of really hitting this nigga with a death strike of lightning. And this nigga stopped it with 2 fingers as if he got a fucking ace card up his sleeve and he about to throw it on the table. Or like, you know how, you ever watch Bakugan? When niggas had their battle card or they had their set card, they had their gate card, and be like, gate card, set, battlefield, open. This nigga did this shit with 2 fingers, bro, and just did that shit. Like, that's basically what he just did with the fucking weapon, bro. And look at this nigga, he's scared. He really thought he was about to do something. Look at this shit. Stop. Oh shit. What the fuck? Oh shit. What the fucky? Oh my god. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all need to bring Thor back with his long hair. Like, his short hair cool. But this shit, I don't know, bro. I think this movie, I could have took Thor more serious. Like, Thor has always been serious with his short hair. You know what I'm saying? Ever since, like, Ragnarok, when they did it. But, like, it's something about his long hair, too. His long hair with the braid to the side, like on, Thor, The Dark World. That hairstyle fits this aesthetic for this movie, bro. Like, that would have been a fire-ass, like, hairstyle for him, bro. Damn, bro. Y'all should have did that, bro. Look at this nigga. Nigga ain't moved by these antics, nigga. You don't fear. I don't fear you, nigga. I don't fear you, bro. This nigga do him different, dog. Nigga do him different, bro. Oh my gosh, this shit crazy.
We're going to need a miracle.
Hey, pal.
His hair looks shorter in the last scene than this one. What the fuck? Like right here, it look okay. Nigga soul in the motherfucker. God damn, bro.
It's not possible.
I'd be mad too if I was a god and I got this weapon of destruction. My muscles built like this, bro. I got titanium muscles and shit, walking around big cock strong and shit. And then all of a sudden, a nigga under a mask stops my shit with 2 fingers. I'll be pissed off too. I'll be scared too. I dead ass piss myself. I would dead ass piss myself, bro. That's a real nigga. That's a real nigga right here. Nigga smile too, like this nigga want me to prove this shit. Like I'm really him. What like I get it though. I get it, bro. I'm gonna show you on him. Look. Just let go. I'm gonna show you. Thank you. Now look, you got a real nigga back in your team. You know what I'm saying? You lost everybody. You ain't got Hulk. You ain't got Tony. You ain't got Clint. You ain't got Natasha. Yeah, I came back for you, twin. I came back for you. You know what I'm saying? I came back for you. You needed me, and your brother sent me to you. Basically, that's what he's saying, bro. Like, bro, Loki, like, hey, big bro. Look, bro. Look. I know we had our differences in the past. I'm sending you to this other planet, this other reality, just so, like, I can hide you from these people. You know what I'm saying? Because I hid from them when I first was, you know what I'm saying, like, trying to be restricting their rules and shit of the time loop and all this other shit. I'm gonna send you to this other reality. In a couple of years, though, I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna send you back to Planet 616, cause my brother gonna need your help. Everybody's gone. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gone. There's a big ass threat, worse than Thanos. He's gonna fuck up everything, not just the world of that planet. He's gonna fuck up every reality. So I need you to lock in a couple years. When I come get you, just get ready. You know what I'm saying? Cause my bitch ass brother, he pussy. That nigga scared, bro. His boots was shaking, bro. His muscles tender. You know what I'm saying? And he needs your help. So I'm gonna send you back. Just get prepared. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what he told him. And then Cap Steve like, I know these bitch ass niggas can't do shit without me, man. I'm the real Captain America, and that's no shade to Falcon, bro. No shade to you, bro. You know, I love your movie, bro. I love your movie. Most people didn't like your movie because of your skin color. I would say this. They didn't like your movie because of your skin color for one, but that was the undertone to like, oh, we don't like Captain America because he's black, but like also because the plot of the movie. But the real undertone was because of skin color. But like, you know what I'm saying? Steve, like, I'm a real nigga, bro. Look. I got y'all, man. Look, I'm gonna come back on these bitch ass niggas. I'm gonna help y'all prevail, man. I'm gonna help y'all get past this shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't hard for a bitch ass nigga. Like, it ain't hard for me to beat that bitch ass nigga up. You know what I'm saying? But he gonna know too. Like, Doom gonna beat your ass too, bro. That shit crazy, bro. It's a fire ass trailer. Y'all get a like. Damn, 1.6 million? Let's read the comments, bro. I do love this. I ain't gonna lie. I do love this. Thor is taking the center stage as the leader. Bro, he has to, though. Like, the Hulk. What the fuck is the Hulk gonna do? I mean, the Hulk gonna... I ain't gonna lie, though. I seen a new picture of the Hulk recently. That shit was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That nigga big, dog. Like bigger than ever, bro. I didn't expect this shit to happen, bro. I really can't wait to see his transformation in Brand New Day. Cause that nigga, I don't know if it's on. Let me type it. Let me see if somebody. Let me see Brand New Day. Nah, it's not like one of these regular pictures, bro. It was another picture, bro. And the nigga like super humongous. I can't. Shit, bro. I don't know if it was real though. It might have been AI. It looked real though. Not gonna care. It looked real as hell. Oh, I can't. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It might not be real, but it was a crazy like size comparison from like difference. Like this shit like you know how when you on soft and your shit just get hard, but then it, like you get around that one chick that just gets you like super hard. Like that's like you ever like had that moment like you know what I'm saying like when you growing some inches, it's something about a baddie that you ain't never had before makes you grow another like inch and a half that you never thought you was capable of getting. It's like she makes you grow another inch and a half and you be surprised like damn you get like this when you see some fine shit like this. Oh, we need to keep her around because now it's giving you a boost of confidence like now you can grow another inch and a half. Shit crazy. Like that's how it really be, bro. Around certain females, bro, you could grow another inch. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where it comes from, but certain females could get you to grow another inch and a half. I don't know. I don't know if it's just like you just perceiving it as maybe it's bigger than what it normally is when it's hard. But like some girls could get you another inch and a half. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, but like nah, he did do the two-factor authentication. I ain't gonna lie. He did do it. Like he did. I ain't gonna cap. He did. He like, man, hold up. Like, let me let go of this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Let me check him again. Mirror, do you think? Gammon looking like he about to make a name for himself. Facts. 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 New Fear Unlocked dying before. Yeah. Facts. 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 This shit. Can I want to react. I want to watch this. I'm not gonna cap. Like this is my stream. I want to do what the fuck I want to do. I'm about to low key watch other people react to this shit, bro. Cause I want to. Like I'm such a Marvel fan. I need to know what's all the little secret, little hidden things behind the scene. I want to see like I want to know what the fuck all this extra like stuff in behind the scenes is like. All these break. I be watching breakdowns on my all the time, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That shit be fire to me. Like that shit fire to me, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know who I want to watch though that did it. I usually watch new rock stars. I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah, we can get that submitted by Monday.
At U-Haul,
I got 'em on
we know every family moves at the
kind of an audio sync here. We just want to work out the kinks before we get into our trailer reaction here. So, is the audio synced for you guys? I just want to make sure that it sounds good. And if it sounds good, we'll get going. It's really, really cool to be here with you guys this morning. Oh my gosh, we have over 1,500 of you guys in the live stream. How's the audio sync? Audio synced? Comments look good. A lot of comments. A lot of insanity. Good synced. Wow. Got it. Brian, we got it going from the get-go. The multiverse gods, the Beyonders have blessed us this morning. All right, then let's get into it. Guys, welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss. It's here. The Doomsday trailer is here. Those Marvel Studios guys actually did it. Those madmen did it. They put it up on YouTube on a Monday morning at the start of the workday, 6 a.m.
Facts.
Pacific time. I was awake when it dropped just because I suspected this would come. I'm really excited that they released this for everybody on YouTube at the start of the week.
I gotta send this to my little brother. We definitely about to buy tickets to go watch this shit in the most peaked format ever. We're going to watch IMAX Studios, bro. We're going to watch in the IMAX film, bro. Dead ass, biggest film. We're going in the biggest arena to watch this bitch. I don't give a fuck if it's $30 per ticket. We're watching that bitch. We not buying no snacks though, for sure. Honestly, like, I'm sneaking my snacks in. If you ain't a real, you not a real nigga unless you snuck some snacks in. I'm not gonna cap. You're not a real nigga. You ain't a real like risk taker.
Studios
Nigga, I snuck ribs in the fucking movie theater, bro. Stop playing with me, nigga. If I can sneak ribs in the theater, imagine what I do in the fucking plane, nigga. I ain't gonna speak too much on that, though.
And that means for San Diego Comic-Con on Saturday, when they're going to be at Hall H, they can reveal some other stuff. And I'm going to be in there in Hall H. I'm going to be answering any questions in this live stream about Doomsday. But then, like, whatever we see at Hall H, I'll be back here on YouTube kind of answering whatever questions and describing whatever I see. It makes me even more excited now for Saturday. I was a little worried that they would just wait to release this trailer on Saturday, but now we get it now, and we're all going to go through it together. Actually, I've already shot my full analysis of it. That's how I've been spending the past few hours. Our editors are working on that video right now. It's going to be well over 30 minutes, maybe even over 40 minutes. It's going to come out to the channel, on the channel later today. It's going to be a great video. I think we found a lot of information in it. So just to kind of clarify some things, this is the same CinemaCon trailer, the trailer for Doomsday that they showed in April to attendees at CinemaCon, and I made a few videos describing what I saw. There's a couple differences, though. Yes, there's an added Loki shot, but there's also like one or two shots that they removed from it, I think, to keep the time or just the general pacing of the edit in sync. But if you have questions for this, let me know in the chat. I'm gonna be doing my best to answer questions. Before I was able to join the chat, Berg was in chat asking people for stuff, and then we have this question from Kenzie. Oh, this super chat. Thanks, Kenzie. Asking, could the blip put this Earth on Doom's radar? And Kenzie, I think you also had another question with a super chat. Could the snap or blip you would activated people's X gene? Oh, so like that's how the X gene activated is through the snap or the blip. Yeah, I think that's a very possible answer, that the gamma radiation released by the Infinity Stones, the 4 times that they were snapped, Thanos dusting everyone, Thanos using the stones to destroy the stones, Hulk snapping everyone back to reality, and Tony snapping out Thanos' forces 4 times. That's 4 huge blasts of gamma radiation that could have awakened people's X genes that were normally dormant. I think that's a great way to justify that. But then to answer your other question, could the blip put this Earth on Doom's radar? I think there were other things that put this Earth on Doom's radar. I think it was more like the time heist. It was the way the Avengers altered the timeline to steal the Infinity Stones, and Steve's choice to stay in the past. I think that created a new universe that branched out of the 616 universe. And I think the 616 universe is anomalistic in a couple other ways. The thing is, I don't want to do an inauthentic reaction because I have already seen this trailer. You know, I'm not going to pretend like it's my first time watching it, but I'll kind of go through it with you guys so that we can all kind of like live in it together. Gonna quickly just scrub through what I see. The placard with the address of Xavier's mansion, School for Gifted Youngsters. This is a shot of Charles Xavier reacting to an incursion, and you can see like the rim of a blue atmosphere with an explosion. So I think what we're going to see are 3 atmospheres that are kind of bubbled together. Charles Xavier shielding himself. You can see the reflection of that Earth on the outside of the screen here. This is like an upgraded version of the X-Mansion. We haven't seen the X-Mansion look exactly like this before. There's like stained glass and these kind of like classical Roman or Greek statues that were not really part of the decor in the past. They built a new X-Mansion set that has like a big grand staircase and a big like kind of ballroom entrance area with a balcony that goes around the perimeter. We never saw the X-Mansion look like that in any of the Fox era films. So when Kevin Feige's like, it felt nostalgic to go back to the old sets, I'm like, well, you're not talking about this set. You must be talking about Cerebro. All right, so yeah, here's our Dr. Doom, ladies and gents.
That right there is enough. Cinema. Absolute cinema. This shit hard, nigga. This shit hard, my nigga. This shit hard.
See,
This
is
shit different.
fairly comic accurate. This green lens flare, and I go in. There's a.
I like his shoulder blades though. Like he got like the little, like the fucking like shoulder pad look of his shoulders armor. It look like shoulder pads. You know what I'm saying? Like it got like that one little flap that protects the shoulder right here, and then it got another little thicker flap that protect this big shoulder part right here. That's what they look like. Nigga look like he bulked up about to swing on a nigga dead ass.
Here that I go into in the breakdown. These clasps that are just super interesting. The sun's getting real low. Yeah, Doom is in the backyard of the X Mansion. He's kneeling here doing a superhero landing. This is maybe we can just play the part where it's just Downey speaking. Faced with an unthinkable decision. What do you guys think of Downey's accent? I kind of like the Latvian accent. He's still recognizable as Robert Downey Jr., but yeah, he's doing kind of a Romanian thing. I wouldn't want a bigger swing than just like Romanian, Eastern European. Sora says he nailed his Slavic accent, kind of broadening it to just be a general Eastern European or Slavic accent. I think you can only really hear it on specific words like unthinkable decision.
Nigga sound like a vampire.
Yeah, but I think we're already seeing.
That's what it remind me of. It remind me of like them old Romanian vampire themed movies when like you know all the fucking vampires came from like Romania, Yugoslavia or some shit like that. Like all that type of area shit in the Europe countries. That's what it sound like. It sound like an old vampire. Like when you say it's unthinkable or something. I'm black. I don't know how to talk other than my accent, but like let me try it again. Hold up. Unthinkable decisions. I don't know how to do it, man. Rate that shit. Rate my accent. Rate my Slavic accent. Hold up. Let me see. Let me try it again.
Robert Downey Jr.
Let me see what he say.
Justified, and we won't realize that you can only really hear it.
Let me see. Wait, what he said again?
I wouldn't want to. What do you guys?
Hold up. Before this day is done. Hold on. We shall be faced with the unthinkable decision. Rate my shit. I give my shit a 7 out of 10. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I give my shit an 8 out of 10. I damn near could hit that same line. I ain't gonna lie to you.
With an unthinkable decision. What do you guys think of Downey's accent? I kind of like the Latvian accent. He's still recognizable as Robert Downey Jr., but yeah, he's doing kind of a Romanian thing. I wouldn't want a bigger swing than just like Romanian, Eastern European. Sora says he nailed his Slavic accent, kind of broadening it to just be a general Eastern European or Slavic accent. I think you can only really hear it on specific words like unthinkable decision. Yeah, but I think we're already seeing some of the acting choices that make the casting of Robert Downey Jr. justified, and we won't really know fully until we see him unmasked, see him in more scenes than just a trailer. But so far, I'm like confident. I'm confident that they know what they're doing here. So one change that was from what I saw at CinemaCon, this was just a black screen, a black background. So I'm kind of curious why they left that out. Nothing really different in the comic art, collapsing imagery. This is a new Avengers Tower, as we described it. We saw this in Daredevil Born Again. That is not a fictional building. That's a JP Morgan Tower that just was finished constructed in 2025. There's a lot. If you haven't been to New York in the past 5 to 10 years, there's a lot of huge new high-rises that are everywhere. But yeah, Chrysler Building here.
New York just be building shit just for that motherfucker to just end up like getting crashed in. I ain't gonna lie to you, like I ain't gonna lie, I'm knocking on wood. Hopefully, like, you know what I'm saying. Oh, I don't need to knock on wood, bro. I just found out a new theory. Well, not a new theory. It was like it's like they say like when you knock on wood, it's an old saying. It's basically like an old saying to like recall back on something you said so you don't end up with karma or some shit. But like they say it derived from like whenever like demons would be cast out or something, and when you knock on wood, it's like It's like knocking the demons to get into the wood or some shit like that. I need to stop doing that. I don't know how really. I'm gonna do my research because I'm just so used to the old sayings that I was taught by my grandparents and great grandparents and older uncles and shit that I just kind of get used to shit and I just kind of still use my old sayings. Like it was like get your head out your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like it's shit like that. But who does know? Like what the fuck? What? Get your head out your ass. It's like I don't know who came up with that shit. I get it though, but who the fuck came up with that shit? But like
State building
I'm just
would
yapping.
be kind of the vantage point we're at currently. Like we're kind of seeing this from the observation deck of the Empire State Building, even though it wouldn't be that much taller than Avengers Tower. Here we go, Avengers walking in. Yeah, this is all similar to what I saw in April, but I mean,
This nigga Mr. Fantastic got fucking aura, man. Like nigga got the fucking jacket, bro. Jacket trim as a bitch. If they was to sell this jacket and make this like an actual merchandise item for fans to buy, I would cop. I dead as would probably cop this shit. Like if the white and blue is leather, this blue part gotta be leather too then. And maybe this might be like knitted, like the little wrists, the wrist sleeve gotta be knitted. I would buy this shit. Cause I don't necessarily have anything blue in my closet besides a jacket. I got like one hoodie that's blue, but other than that, I don't wear a lot of blue. So it's like I need to start wearing some blue so I can force myself to like find some shit to wear it with.
ready. I'm loving the costumes of it. I think there is Steve Rogers behind them here. This is picking up right after the events of the Thunderbolts post-credit scene. Sam and Scott are here. I mean, just all these characters in a room together is kind of wonderful, right? The new Avengers Tower. Look at the light coming in from outside. It's kind of an interesting reddish, orangish color. That's because there's another Earth in the sky. And in the background screen here, you can see 3 different Earths that are coming together. And then specifically, Reed kind of pointing out that the cores of these planets seem to be drawn together. Looks like 3 different colors. We got a blue, a pink, and a yellow. There's also a countdown clock here, right here, and you can see it ticking down to 6. So yeah, we're talking about incursions here. 10005, 616, 828 are the 3 universes that are colliding, and it seems like their magnetic cores are being drawn together in a specific way. A lot of people are like, there must be another character here who was removed digitally from the shot. I've broken down so many of these trailers. There's only a few instances where that's actually been true. It was the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer where they removed the other 2 Peters from the shot, and it wasn't just one shot. There was like multiple shots in that trailer where I'm like, seems like a lot was removed here. We'll see next week with Spider-Man Brand New Day if that has any kind of removal trickery that happened in the edit of the trailer. But every other time, I think every other time where I've looked at it, I mean, Avengers Endgame certainly had stuff that was removed from the trailer, but it was like the suits that characters were wearing. It wasn't entire characters removed or added to a shot. I want to answer a few more questions here. Thank you for your super chat, Aaron, saying, I really don't think this is our Captain America. I think you're referring to the end here. Are you saying maybe it's a Captain Hydra? I think there's a strong likelihood we see like a Captain Hydra variant of Steve Rogers from another universe when Battleworld gets revealed at the end of
But if you saying that though, that means he wouldn't be able to lift Mjolnir because at the same time, his intentions are still pure if he able to lift Mjolnir. Mjolnir. His intentions are still pure. He's still a good person at his core roots. Therefore, he could live from Mjolnir. You know what I'm saying? If this wasn't our Captain America, I don't think he'd be able to do that. He able to do that shit. And I don't know. Maybe Doom. I don't think Doom got some type of magic to it. Like, nigga, I could beat the fucking odds of like the fucking Asgardian magic that was put onto this hammer. I don't know. Maybe he could. But then he would have to put that onto Thor. I mean, he have to put that onto Steve, to where like he could still be, I guess, quote unquote evil, but not really necessarily evil, because it's not like he coming from the evil side of things. It's more like, I don't know.
movie. I do think this is our Steve Rogers, though. I think this is the Steve Rogers that we saw in the first Doomsday teaser, holding the baby. I think he's got the beard and the longer hair now because that shot would have been like 1950 or 51 in that alternate universe. this would be a Steve Rogers that would have come from like 1970 if we assume that he's in the Fantastic Four universe, the 828 universe. It was specifically around the year 1969 or 1970 when Doctor Doom kidnapped Franklin Richards, and I think that's what's going to kick off the whole Fantastic Four angle of the plot, and I think he's with them in that universe. Now, whether or not he created that universe by staying with Peggy Carter at the end of Endgame is one question, but I do think he's going to be with Thor, as all of these characters, Thor, Herbie, the Fantastic Four, Steve, I think they're all on this ship when it gets to Avengers Tower. I just do think this shot is our Steve. I'm not trying to overlook or over-examine it. Who do we think is standing behind Steve at the end of the trailer? I'm pretty sure that's Johnny. Right here, I think is what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Johnny. Yeah, and you can tell because he's got the kind of white turtleneck. And if you look at him in this shot here, when they're all coming in, yeah, he's got this kind of high-popped collar with the white turtleneck.
Damn! This nigga Johnny Trump too. Matter of fact, but that white jacket, the white jacket give off a pop. That's different. These niggas flexing, bro. These niggas got that 1970s back to the fucking, I don't know what the fuck, but they got swag, nigga.
Down in such a way that I'm pretty sure they're on the Fantastic Four ship, and that's Johnny back there. You can also glimpse like a little bit of a towhead, a little bit of blonde hair. The Swit Sports Show asking, do you think we'll get Wolverine in this movie? Maybe that's what they reveal at Hall H. I think like we had a whole great sneak peek episode yesterday that you should go watch, where we were running through the different scenarios, even including the scenario we're now in, that they would drop the CinemaCon trailer on Monday. And we looked historically at past times Marvel has been at Hall H, specifically 2 years ago, and what they really need to do to like hype people back up who have been kind of dormant on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think they're smart by releasing this trailer on YouTube, and because it is a YouTube moment. This should have been on YouTube like months ago, but I'm just grateful that we have it now before we get into the weekend. And I think once we get to Saturday's Hall H panel, we'll see some other big stars for Doomsday. And while I do think they make some announcements for X-Men or for Secret Wars, I really do think it's mostly going to be a Doomsday panel. But then if you look at what we're seeing here, this trailer on YouTube is like the first half of like a week of Doomsday marketing. The second half is something to where, okay, how do you make the people who waited in line for 18 hours in San Diego make that wait feel worth it? Is you bring out big stars on stage, and it has to be big stars. I'm sure Downey and Evans are going to be there. But you have to reveal some people. And there are other big names that we feel like will be in Doomsday that have not so far been officially confirmed by the studio. There was that Easter Sunday Instagram post from Robert Downey Jr.'s Instagram, and there were other eggs in that basket that included egg designs for Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. And, you know, Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Holland have not been confirmed yet. You could bring out one or both of those guys. You could bring out a Hugh Jackman or Ryan Reynolds. I think a good indicator will be on Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. before the Marvel panel will be an Apple Studios panel, and one of the things they're going to be talking about is that movie Mayday that John Francis Daley and Goldstein directed, that's going to be starring Ryan Reynolds. If he's there for that panel, clock it, because I think he's going to be coming back. He's just going to stick around backstage at Hall H, and he'll be back out on stage with them for Doomsday, because we have some answer as to how Gambit escaped the void at the end of Deadpool and Wolverine to be in this movie, right? And I think like Deadpool is that answer. Okay, another question. Thank you for asking me all Mephisto questions. Bring them. Due to the Doctor Doom connection, you know, I don't think we're going to see Sacha Baron Cohen in this movie, and I think they're even doing something different. Here, I'm going to bring up the... of course, yes, Mephisto is deeply connected to Cynthia Von Doom, Dr. Doom's mother. It's not just like something we're making up. It's real. And that's why he learned magic. They're two very heavily intertwined people. However, I think they might be doing something different, where maybe Cynthia Von Doom in this movie could be Dr. Doom's wife. Maybe that'll be the name of his daughter. Yeah, I just don't think that they're gonna bring in Mephisto to be so much part of it. Sorry, I'm taking so long. I just want to show you guys this poster. Oh, Not going over there. Okay, but we've seen the poster. The poster shows like Doctor Doom looking up at this big rug tapestry that shows like a mother and child that I think is Doctor Doom. It could be Doctor Doom as a boy and his mother, or it could be Doctor Doom's daughter and his wife, who are both dead, that he honored with this tapestry. I'm honestly 50-50. Yes, things won't drag over, because I'm an old man. I'm like, I don't think I will tell you about that other story, Sam. Alright, but it's probably over here now. You can see it. I'm not giving, let's see, I'm not accidentally revealing anything. Ha! No tabs visible. This is the tapestry art that I was talking about. It's really cool art that tells us a lot of information of like Doctor Doom. Like, it looks like an older photo of almost Madonna and child. So this could be Cynthia and Victor as a younger age. But like, would he have a tapestry of himself? Maybe. But we see her in this angelic place. There's definitely a figure down here that's not Mephisto, but like, yeah, this is kind of what it's all about for him. I think it's interesting that they're both kind of framed above this globe.
Is his mask in his hand? It is, actually.
And I think it shows this is what Doom wants, a suit of armor around his own world, a utopian battle world where the people he loves are always protected. So, yeah, I just don't think they're going to mention Mephisto in this movie to answer your question. And I don't need Mephisto to be in this movie, I just have to say that out loud. Okay, let's get back to the rest of the trailer here. Did you guys get your tickets yet? I was able to get a ticket through Infinity Vision, a Thursday afternoon ticket. I always do that. I always like use my ANC stubs or whatever else to buy a ticket, just because I don't always know if I'm gonna get a press screening or anything like that. And I'm always gonna see a movie multiple times if I'm gonna break it down for you guys. So yes, I was able to get a ticket by myself, and it wasn't as hard as it was for the Odyssey, but I think there were fewer screenings available when Odyssey opened tickets, where I was really specifically gunning for a 70mm IMAX at City Walk in LA, and I was able to get one for like Thursday night late. But for this, there was like a lot of different options, and I was able to get one, but I also got to it early before I think a lot of the LA people were even awake. Here in LA, people sleep in. Another question, do you think Doom goes to the Void to recruit, hence why Gambit is fighting Shang-Chi? Oh, so it was Doom who rescued Shang-Chi from the Void. I like that theory a lot. I mean, that's a really great theory. Does Doom need Gambit on his team, I guess would be my question. Nothing against Gambit. I just think, like, it kind of seems like Gambit started his story in the X-Mansion with the other X-Men. It doesn't seem like he's arriving with Doctor Doom. But either way, that could also explain...
Niggas really got Channing Tatum on the movie, bro.
Doom,
As a superhero.
Like, these two people who arrived at the X-Mansion,
This nigga went from being a bachelor to a fucking
superhero.
superhero.
I think Gambit's just one of the other X-Men. But hey, your theory's as valid as my theories. Hey, another question. I've been watching you since the WandaVision days of 2021. First time catching the stream. Hey, glad we could get you on the stream here. Arc Get to Go 1983. And thanks for watching us in WandaVision. It was Agatha all along. Mephisto train forever. When will Berg announce that he is the new Professor X? I think Berg would make an amazing Professor Charles Xavier. He is kind of the Professor X of The Office here at New Rockstars. He's always sitting. He always says, "To me, my rock stars," and he always puts Brian in his like relive your trauma beam. So I think he'd make a great Professor X. I think he'd look really good bald. A bald Berg, I think, is something that we all need. What does everyone think about the first round of showtimes being Infinity Vision only? I think I roll my eyes at this branding of Infinity Vision. I think it's very, very silly. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to simplify PLF screenings, because I think right now it's kind of confusing to a lot of viewers. Like, well, what does it mean to see it in IMAX 70mm versus Dolby versus Screen X versus whatever else? But I think Infinity Vision as a term doesn't tell you any further information. What I really love is when, like, you know, whether it's Ryan Coogler for Sinners or Christopher Nolan with The Odyssey, a lot of marketing for those movies specifically told people this is what it looks like if you see it here. This is what it looks like if you see it here. You could go to IMAX's website for The Odyssey and see the differences and kind of make your decisions based on that, because it is an investment for people. Infinity Vision just feels like a stamp of approval from Disney and Marvel Studios that, like, you could see this movie in this big PLF, but it doesn't tell us, like, how the Doomsday viewing experience will be different if we see it in Dolby versus see it in Screen X. And so this morning I was like looking at different, I could see AMC Prime or I could see Screen X, and I like Screen X for some movies. Specifically, I can't wait to see Shang-Chi for my second viewing experience on Screen X, because I think it sounds like Destin Daniel Cretton really worked with that Korean company to try to like shoot a lot of the sequences to really make that great. Overall, I like the frame of it though. I don't need the immersion. I want to see. I love the mise en scène of these directors. I will even say it like Sebastian or like a character in Ratatouille when I say mise en scène. I like the challenge of a director being limited by a specific film aspect ratio, as opposed to what if we just had screens on our peripherals? It's just like a different viewing experience, but I like that they're experimenting. I like that, like, they're thinking of trying to think beyond that to just get people out of their homes into like a cool different event space. And that's how IMAX started. We needed to experiment with these kind of things in order to push the overall technology and art form forward. So I like alternate PLFs as an option. I just think having to go through this other stamp of approval of Infinity Vision is just kind of confusing to me. And it like, because it was unveiled by Disney, I have to assume that there's like some kind of profit angle to it. It's not about trying to educate viewers. It's trying to say, like, well, we're not going to have IMAX for Doomsday's release because it's all going to be tied up with Dune Part 3, but what we do have is Infinity Vision, and they won't tell us, like, what that means other than just, like, it means that you can find the closest PLF to you and watch it there. I'm like, but I think people are savvy enough to be able to do that. Like, I think if there's parents who are buying tickets for their teenage kids, or if you're just like you and your film bro buddies are just looking for a night out, you know where the nearest one is. You don't need that kind of education. You can find it out on your own. And like, you know, another way to do it would just get like the directors out there, get the studio head out there, get the actors out there to make the promos the way like Ryan Coogler have, to where each of those promos, like all the Odyssey promos were like cool little educational behind the scenes featurettes that felt like watching the Lord of the Rings extended edition behind the scenes making of, to where it's like as almost as cool as watching the movie. That's good marketing, telling the story of your story, not coming up with some kind of branded thing that Jenny Nicholson's going to roll her eyes at in an amazing 4-hour live stream in a few years. Another super chat from, even though we all knew the trailer would be, how much more stoked are you actually seeing it? Bumped my hype up like crazy. Yeah, I guess that's a question. I know a lot of you guys watching this probably saw some New Rockstars videos where I described it, and one of the things that I wanted to try to illustrate to people is like, my description can only do so much justice. Oh, we'll get to this in a second. I really do think that, you know, when we saw this at the Coliseum in Vegas, like the crowd was on its feet. I'd never heard a roar like that throughout the week that I was there. And I think seeing this it's a perfectly cut trailer for YouTube, and I'm glad they released it on YouTube. And I am really hyped seeing it. I found even more details scrubbing through it on YouTube, but I get that I'm not like just the average viewer who like was gonna make the decision on whether or not I'm even gonna go see this movie or care about it based off of a 2-minute trailer. But I think they really did the assignment. They gave us a lot of Doom. We got to hear his voice. We got to see interesting characters aligning, and we got to see the strange alchemy that Kevin Feige has talked about. Like, why are Gambit and Shang-Chi fighting? That never was on my bingo card. The only thing where I'm like, oh, I wish that they had done a little bit more, and I hate to even have this kind of mindset. You know, this whole reunion between Thor and Steve Rogers is like, okay, cool. I love this. I was hyped for this when I saw this in April, but like, you know, it is recreating the Endgame moment. It's a little on the nose, and I think just to shut up all the people who are rolling their eyes at heated up leftovers of this, they could have given us something else. Even put the Loki thing at the end of it, you know, or reorder it so like this is the money shot. I mean, Doom stopping it, stopping the gauntlet using his gauntlet to stop the battle axe is like insanely epic. I mean, that just this moment is incredible. I also want to just give credit where it's due. you know, there's a world where this stuff could look really bad. And I don't know, there's going to be some people online who are like, oh, it looks very VFX, looks really bad. But just like the lighting, the color grading of shots like this, I really dig it. It looks really good. It looks like good on a level that the Russo brothers did not really seem to even be going for in Endgame. Like, you can go back and look at many of the shots in Endgame even after it was released on 4K digital. And I know it was a 2019 film, but it was also one of the most expensive films ever made. And already this looks better. You could tell that there is like they're trying to go for a more cinematic look, as opposed to something that is just like trying to cram as many glove shitos and Marvel member berries as possible. And that's a very insulting criticism of Avengers Endgame, and I don't really feel that way about Avengers Endgame, but I'm just kind of being an advocate for the people who look at things like Endgame and the Russo brothers' past work and say like, oh, doesn't this look bad? I'm excited to have this team now be working with department heads who really care about the color temperature of the shot, the how in focus it is, the relationship between the characters and their backgrounds, the positioning of the shot. And while there are some shots in this that do kind of look like, you know, this kind of looks Endgame Final Battle-esque, right? A debris field. But, like, these particular little moments here, like a sense of natural lighting, even though this is certainly on a soundstage, I just like how this looks, you know? The guy who's doing the color grading for this is the same guy who's doing the color grading for Spider-Man Brand New Day. And I think Kazar Farahani is a production designer who also did the production design on Loki and Fantastic Four First Steps, and you could sense like a kind of like film language confidence in whatever story they're trying to tell. There's no humor. They're not using any kind of needle drop music. They're just using Alan Silvestri's score, and they're trying to sell us on a scary apocalyptic event that's even worse for these characters than Infinity War and Endgame were. If you go back and look at Russo's trailer for Captain America Civil War, it was similarly grim, fatalistic. We really thought characters were going to die. And while no one really did die in Civil War, other than the character Anthony Russo played, or Joe Russo played, I really do think a lot of these characters are going to die here as Battleworld forms. Just teed up your question here. Who do you think is dying in this film and why? I think there's a good chance that poor Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes dies. I think the Russo brothers, you got to think about like what characters did they have a relationship with from all the way back in Captain America Winter Soldier. And I think one of these three guys, look to your left, look to your right, not all of them will be alive at the end of the night. Like, specifically Sebastian Stan's going to be in the Batman Part 2. Now, that's not coming out in 2027 anymore. It got pushed to February 2018. That makes me think that there's a better chance that he lives than before. I still think that one of these three guys is going to die. I think Loki's going to die, because we've already seen him die. I think, statistically, some of these Talo Kanil or Black Panther characters are not going to survive. I think this version of Thor will die, but I think we'll see another version of Chris Hemsworth's Thor as kind of like the Thor core from Battleworld in Secret Wars. So I don't think we're done with him, the actor, but I think this version of Thor is donezo. Fun comment here. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. RDJ said, hold my beer. Speaking of Christopher Nolan. You know what's crazy? It's one of these Christopher Nolan lines from his earlier eras that like sounds like on the surface it's just like, ooh, good line. And then you think about it and you're like, wait, does that line make sense? And then you rewatch the movie and think about it a third time and you're like, oh no, that's like the best line ever written. And then you watch the movie a fourth time and you're like, wait, does that line make sense? Is it actually that impressive? Like, why is that the binary? You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain? That's not logically accurate at all. You could, there's at least a third option where you could live long enough and not necessarily be a villain. You could just live long enough and just be someone who's staying completely neutral to the conflict. But I think that's like, it speaks to the extremes that Aaron Eckhart's Harvey Dent was living at. He is taking such big swings, referring to Julius Caesar, that you can either be martyred, die before your time, or if you just grow old enough, that kind of elderly wisdom is going to make you too proud, too confident, too too powerful, and that power is going to absolutely corrupt you. That's why I'm saying like these Nolanisms just get too readily posted as like these tattoos or yearbook quotes without people really thinking about what it means for the character. But the more you think about it, it's actually really cool. Similar line in the Odyssey. I won't spoil it here in case you guys haven't seen it because I understand it's hard to get tickets right now. But there's a similar line in the way that Odysseus describes an experience he went through in the movie. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Where it's one of these like similarly repetitive lines that kind of echoes itself and has some interesting language that a lot of people are talking about. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, great line. And then I kept having to think about it. And I'm like, the more I thought about it, the more I just kind of started thought spiral. Yeah, that passage is one of the best passages Christopher Nolan has ever written. That's why I think the screenplay for The Odyssey is the best screenplay he's ever written. I think there's certain things about the plot structure of Inception or Interstellar that are just brilliant. Brilliant. But just like, or Memento, obviously, his structure of that is incredible. But just like the way characters describe their psychological experiences that just kind of strike me coldly in the heart. Blew my mind. I think Odyssey's going to be the film to beat this year. I think so far it's my favorite movie of the year. It's just transcendent. Okay, another super chat here. X-Men 97 has me hyped up for all the X-Men projects. You know what? Yeah, totally. X-Men 97 is doing an amazing job telling the story of the X-Men. It's been the best on-screen Apocalypse we've seen, best on-screen Kang we've seen. This is exactly what we want from these characters, and it's doing an amazing job. I love that show, and I hope that other people feel the way you do, that that people realize that you don't have to have these event films. Like, I have full confidence in the Mutant Saga. If they just kind of follow the roadmap that, you know, the team behind X-Men 97 is following, the Claremont era is not an era. It just kind of refers to, like, a decade plus of great melodramatic storytelling that involve, like, the coming and goings of a lot of different villains. It's not the same way that, like, I'm trying to think, like, the Civil War was an era, an event. Like, you know, anyone who says that Marvel Studios is like just kind of desperate with Avengers Doomsday does not. I think they didn't watch the X-Men animated series in the 90s, or they're not watching X-Men 97, just because like Marvel Studios has the ripest, richest period of stories now that were not even touched on in the Fox era films for a Mutant Saga. Like looking back at the Fox era films, many of them were really, really good, but they were not kind of like classic X-Men storytelling. And there's like, I don't know, there's at least 8.
Facts. That shit was kind of mid looking back at it. Like I watched all of them growing up, and I just rewatched, I think, all of them recently. But I think I stopped before Apocalypse. And I watched Apocalypse more recent than anything because that's a more recent one than all the old ones. Apocalypse low-key kind of ass. I really don't even remember much of the Phoenix one because, like, that shit was downhill after that. Well, before that, but, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really pay much attention to that shit. What else? I think my favorite X-Men movies from Fox Studios had to been, like, the Deadpool movies. Days of Future Past. And X-Men First Class. And of course the Wolverine movies. And really, truly like the, just Wolverine. Oh no, not Wolverine, Logan. The Logan movie. Like that's probably like my favorite one. Like Days of Future Past, First Class, Logan. And then, I think, yeah. I mean, all the other ones was kind of mid. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, even the first two, like X-Men 1 and 2, shit was kind of mid. Like, it wasn't, like, great. It had some good plots to it, but it was just, like, like, it wasn't, like, you know what I'm saying?
That they could do throughout the 2030s that could be, like, considered the Renaissance heyday of Marvel Studios that will make us look back on the Infinity Saga and be like, whoa, damn. That Infinity Saga and Multiverse Saga, it's amazing that they did as well as they did with the limited options they have, because now it's like watching Nolan cook with the Odyssey. Part of it is like it's the greatest story ever told. Imagine if you had our greatest filmmaker telling the greatest story. Imagine if you had like our greatest franchise builders, great filmmakers, great like cinematic universe world builders who could tell this kind of story in an amazing sandbox, and you could get 10 great years out of that. So yeah, I'm super excited. Are the 10 rings going to play an important role? Well, they're going to whoop Gambit's ass, but I don't think we're going to get an answer to the question of what the 10 rings were summoning as a beacon in that 10 rings, that Shang-Chi post-credit scene. I don't know. I think it's easy to go back to that post-credit scene and say, oh, they were just like, they were a beacon alerting for incursions, like a carbon monoxide alarm just telling us like, oh, there have been too many incursions in this reality. So that could be something that was like pinging in Doctor Doom's tech in the Doomstat.
Go y'all way and shit. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love the interactions. Hopefully we can connect with each other. But if shit don't go out, go y'all way and shit. You know what I'm saying? Indeed is also available. We need policemen. We need doctors. We need engineers. All that. I appreciate everybody.
That nigga mighty funny.
Can you stack rack who you think will survive and not make it in Secret Wars, like a top 10? Thanks. I can't do an organized top 10 off the dome here, but I've given you a couple different options. Yeah, I do think that most of the Thunderbolts, minus maybe Bucky or Red Guardian, I think Red Guardian's not going to make it. But I think Yelena will survive, and I think Sentry will survive as well, although he's going to take a beating in this movie. I think Doctor Doom is going to use Sentry to like siphon Loki's powers. Yeah, I think Sam is going to survive. I think Shuri's going to survive, and I think like Steve Rogers. Well, either like the old timers like Steve Rogers or Thor might die, but I think Steve Rogers is going to live just because I think that old man at the end of Endgame is this Steve in the future. So I think he has to survive. But we might see characters die and respawn. So I don't think it's about the deaths of these characters the way it was for Infinity War. I think it's about like what happens to their homes. I think seeing the continents of each of these worlds, the skylines being destroyed, billions of people screaming out in terror, I think it's a bigger, crazy Cecil B. DeMille shot than just like certain characters just croaking, because we've seen that before in Russo Brothers Marvel movies. Talking about Doom's Crest in a similar place as the arc reactor. Let's take a look. I don't see a particular crest here. But, oh, you're talking this. Okay, so I think it's just the angle of the shot. I think that's a shoulder pauldron. It's kind of right here over the collarbone. Thank you for your super chat. In Infinity War, Thanos killed the enemy of the first movie by killing Loki and showing growth and power. Do you think we'll see something like that again? Yeah, I do think we get the Thanos moment of Doctor Doom plunging his hand in Thanos' chest and turning him into a skeleton. I do think we get that in this movie. I think we see that in an alternate timeline, or maybe that's something that like we see in Battleworld, because I think New Xandar is going to be one of the sections of Battleworld. That's how we're going to get Nova. And in that Battleworld, maybe it's like a world, instead of Annihilus winning in New Xandar, it was Thanos winning in that reality. And so it's like Thanos at the end of Infinity War or Endgame, how he's like, I'm gonna tear it apart atom by atom and start over from scratch. Maybe there's a universe in Battleworld where it's that, where Thanos won. And then we think, oh God, King Thanos, he's sitting on the Skull of Thrones that, you know, the concept artists talked about. And instead, it's Doctor Doom who shows up and just jerks him right in that moment and turns him into the latest skeleton that tops that pile. That's what I want to see. Free idea, Marvel Studios. You don't have to pay me for it. Hey, thanks for your donation, Jacob. Appreciate you, buddy. Texaco with another super chat. Do you think Doom goes to the Void to recruit? Hence why we see Gambit. Oh, I think you asked that question already. I like that theory. I have a different idea.
And it's just 2 hours.
Deadpool, but I think if you're not going to have Ryan Reynolds in this movie, I think that's the next best theory. Just giving us some flow state. Thank you. Another just random question here. Doom kills Loki in front of Thor again. I'm walking out of the room. You're not leaving. You're not walking out of the room. I think, like, I don't know how much Marvel acting Tom Hiddleston has. I think there will be another version of him in Secret Wars, but I wouldn't be surprised if after Secret Wars, he just kind of dies with the multiverse saga. Another gold coin. Whoa! Whoa! Look at you guys. Thanks, guys. Do you think Thor is saying it's not possible to Loki at the end? You know, I had thinking about this. I don't think he's saying it's not possible. Looking at just Steve Rogers, because he knows that Steve Rogers went somewhere at the end of Endgame. I don't think it's that crazy for someone who's lived through the time heist and the multiverse saga. If anything, it's crazier for Steve Rogers to see Thor, who lost all that weight. He should say it's not possible. I think they're referring to. I think there's a third person in this room, and I'm not talking about Johnny Storm behind Steve here. I think there's Downey in this room. I think there's like this variant of Tony Stark in this room, and someone who both of these guys watched die. I think that's more of a it's not possible thing. And he's just saying like, but my name is Victor. And they're like, do you want to tell us your last name, Victor? And he goes, no last name. I will not tell you my last name. Because if you did, it's a little awkward. Your last name's Doom. I think they're both kind of shocked, and he's gonna say, "I'm just a variant Tony Stark. I am a billionaire playboy philanthropist. Just trust me. I have the solution to the." Man, Downey has to do that accent the whole movie. I think he's gonna do a better job than I am, which is just doing a Russian accent. He's gonna come to them as a friend, I think, at first, and then he'll reveal himself as a villain. Here's a theory. Thanks for your super chat. Captain America is our Steve pulled from time and then put back in time, like the Stones. All in all, this movie looks sick. Thoughts? Agreed with you in that it looks sick. Put back in time. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying here. I pulled from time and put back in time. So, like, Steve extracted by the TVA instead of going into the ice? I mean, Steve already kind of is the man out of time. He was put into the ice for 60-something years and then resurrected. So, I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that. But I do think that this is the Steve from the end of Endgame, the one who had the baby. Just a few years after he had that baby, now he has a beard. Hey, thanks for the gift membership, Jamie. Appreciate you. Score of the Odyssey 1 to 10, 10 out of 10. I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd. It's my favorite movie of the year, 10 out of 10. I believe Bucky may die in the X-Mansion. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I don't know if he'll die in the X-Mansion or somewhere else. Because I kind of feel like a character's death should be meaningful to their history. I think this is Battle World here. I think it's the Void that we're seeing. But I don't know. I quickly want to talk about this. Okay, so this was not in the CinemaCon trailer. This is a new shot of Loki in a TVA analyst uniform holding an ID badge that we never saw in the Loki series. But it does have the Yggdrasil Worlds Tree configuration that kind of represents the sacred timeline that Loki is now, as God of Stories, holding together. This iconography was never part of the TVA in the 12 episodes of the Loki series, but you do kind of see like the strands of time going into the trees. Some of them end in nodes that do not continue. Some of them flower into fruit, you could say. Maybe each of these fruits represents the ending of that universe. Some of them do not have them and are continuing to grow, but it is a tree that I think it must represent Loki after he has kind of taken over the TVA as the God of Stories, and I guess he's mobile. He's not anchored to that throne in the way that I thought he was, and he's wearing his TVA analyst uniform that he was wearing. That high collar is specifically from Loki season 1 episode 2 when Mobius kind of puts him as the variant labeled jacket, and Loki pretty quickly stops wearing that jacket. I think it's only in episode 2 once he goes to Lamentis 1 with Sylvie. He stops wearing the jacket, and then in episode 4 he's back in the TVA, goes down to the Void. Episode 5 he's in the Void. Episode 6 he's at like the Citadel at the end of time. We don't ever see him back in this jacket. It's only that one episode that from June 2021. So I don't remember this particular image of him ever smiling for a photo. And the number is the ProRes, but I just saw it. It's 414-620-701-401-220. I wasn't able to find specifically any specific numerical relevance to that. Also, yeah, Time Variance Authority, that is a TVA logo, but they never had like ID badges like this. Loki's temporal numerical designation was L1130. So I'll be looking into this a lot. I obviously love kind of numerical references in the TVA. We don't know where he is. A lot of theories out there is that he's in Steve Rogers' house. kind of warning him. While I think that's like a cool idea, if we're saying that this was like this is like a scene from that period of time in Loki's journey in the Loki series. Loki never really got away from Mobius during episode 2 to go on like side quests to go talk to Steve Rogers in another universe. We tracked Loki for everywhere he was. The only time in the Loki series we saw like a big montage was in season 2 when he's going through the thousands of years trying to stop the sacred timeline temporal loom from exploding with like, you know, OB and Victor Timely and the others of the TVA over and over and over again, Groundhog Day style. And in that, he's not wearing the jacket, and he's singularly focused on that mission of trying to figure out the exact sequence of events to keep Victor Timely from spaghettifying. So he never had a side quest. So I just think this is a new form that Loki takes after becoming God of Stories. As God of Stories, he's able to like take an analyst form. And I think it's kind of sweet that he takes the analyst form of the stuff he was wearing when he was kind of just vibing the most with Mobius in season 1. This question again. Sorry it took me a while to get to it, but I appreciate all the super chats. Texaco asking. All right, trailer compared to all Avengers trailers. Do you think there is a possibility of a bad executive? I really hope Doomsday wins. I'm not sure what you mean by bad executive. But if I think back on all the trailers, I don't remember the trailer for the first Avengers film from 2012. I remember it at the end of the Captain America the First Avenger movie. And it was just like, it was cut the way trailers in the aughts were cut. It was very weird to look at it now. It was before the kind of social network revolution of YouTube trailers where really it was Little Children, or there's some other movie that people just like, it was edited to the sounds of a train. And then that inspired the Social Network trailer using the Swedish Girls Choir cover of Radiohead's Creep that didn't really use any footage for the most part from the Fincher movie. And then after that in 2011, that's when he started to see people make movies to be put on, trailers to be put on YouTube, and all the Marvel Studios films after that started to get more artistic. I love the Civil War trailer. I really think I think the first Infinity War trailer was really great. Other than the fact that it included that Hulk running shot that was not in the movie. But like everything, hearing Thanos' voiceover throughout it just felt really creepy and really effective. So I think that has been my favorite Avengers movie trailer. Hey, that Age of Ultron trailer was pretty great too. Like I think they started to use the strings on me stuff, like stuff that Ultron doesn't even say in the movie. James Spader's voice sounded great in that trailer. Hello. Thanks, Hannah Basso, for your super chat. Super chats are coming in fast, so I'm just going to move through them fast. But thank you for the flower. Thank you for the donation. Thanks for the gold coin. I think we mainly need to talk about it's Gambit, bro. Looking like the Gambit we've been waiting for so long. Yeah, it's kind of the same concept art design from Deadpool and Wolverine, right? It's weird how much of a Gambit trailer this is. I'll say that. Like that it really threw me in April. I was like, man, they're really trying to sell this movie with Channing Tatum's Gambit? Okay. He's great in this, though. Like, I think, again, this is kind of making X-Men 97 a required viewing. Gambit's going to be such a huge character this season in X-Men 97 in the arc that they're kind of exploring with him. So, and he's a great character who hasn't been given his proper due. Nope, I don't think he will. Do you think Spider-Man will reveal that Hulk will return in Doomsday? Yeah, post-credit scene for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Good question. I think there will be some post-credit scene that shows like how these characters, Peter Parker and Hulk, will end up together in Doomsday or Secret Wars. Do you think STD President let's me that question? Can you please explain Infinity Screen, a $50 ticket bundle they're selling? Okay, I don't know what the $50 ticket bundle is, but earlier in the stream it talked about my skepticism of the branding of Infinity Vision. And congrats on getting a Comic-Con press badge. Yeah, I'll be around, so if you see me, come say hi. I'll be in San Diego. I feel like we're watching Fox X-Men play X-Men 97 live action, hence why everything looks different. Yeah, I think there were some lessons learned on just how ready Marvel fans are just to see the yellow spandex, you know? And there's a lot of drama. It's not just like comic book boom booms of little kids in a sandbox. It's like these characters are fully dimensional in ways that like the Avengers and the Infinity Saga weren't always. But I agree with you. Thank you for the star. Do you think Doctor Doom's plan is to actually destroy the multiverse, or is he trying to save it in a way that makes him the villain? You know, I think they want to make him a protagonist more than just an outright villain. So destroying the multiverse, no, I don't think he's that nihilistic. But I do think he's trying to save it by creating Battleworld. Just joined, say may have covered it, but when we can expect the full trailer breakdown. Excited for it. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're gonna see it later today. Our editors are currently working on it. I've already shot it. It's currently in the post-production pipeline. It'll be let's see, it's 10:41 West Coast time. Expected around 3 p.m. at the earliest Pacific time, which would be 6 p.m. It's gonna be an evening watch for you while you eat your dinner. Enjoy our breakdown. Thanks for the donation. Do you think we see Valeria Richards maybe in Secret Wars? I don't know if this movie, but there are some kids that have been cast in this movie without specific characters identified with them. So I think there's going to be some new, younger characters are introduced. I just think we'll see Doom's daughter, and maybe she has the name Valeria or something like that. Do you think there will be other Tony Stark variants? Why else would Loki be in the OG TVA uniform? I don't think we're gonna see like Tony Stark, like Robert Downey Jr. playing a lot of clones in this movie. I think just for simplicity's sake, they want him to be kind of singular in this movie. To make him kind of have dozens of doppelgangers, I think will be too Kang coded for the character and make killing any one of them feel less important. So I'd be surprised if we saw. I think it's possible that we see scenes in which, like, we flash back to Tony Stark in a 616 universe where Downey plays those scenes. Or when Battleworld starts, that there's, like, a superior Iron Man that Tony Stark appears as. But I don't think we're going to spend a lot of time with those characters. Thank you so much for your super chat. That's very kind of you, Disctopia. Love you. Okay, a question here. Thank you, Heavy. So is the Doom Tony Stark that failed to protect and love his family 3000 or something? Oh, okay, so are you saying that, like, this is a Doctor Doom who failed to protect his family? Yeah, but I don't think it's his failure. I just think other incursions kind of made that impossible for him. Let's talk about San Diego Comic-Con, asked here by Wab Soriano. SDCC will be insane. They already showed the trailer. What else is coming? Next set of movies? X-Men cast? Yeah, that's what we're all wondering here at New Rockstars, right? I'm really glad they dropped this trailer online to the public, because now we can all just like feast in this together and kind of set the table for what bigger things they might show exclusively to the people in the room at Hall H. 6,500 or so people. I think it's still going to be mostly Doomsday centered. I don't think we're going to see that much about X-Men or Secret Wars, but maybe they give us like a concept trailer or art for Secret Wars, but they're not going to want to spoil how Doomsday ends. So I think at this point they'll announce other big actors will be in Doomsday. My hope of hopes is that we see Halle Berry and Famke Janssen on that stage. Deadpool and Wolverine almost feels obvious. Spider-Man, Benedict Cumberbatch kind of feels obvious, but like getting the rest of the X-Men cast would make me lose my mind. And I do think they're going to make some announcements about X-Men, because I think you could still announce some of the X-Men cast without spoiling Doomsday or Secret Wars. Like Kevin Feige was just asked about this by Joshua Horowitz, and he was kind of cryptic about how much the X-Men cast was planned. But he did confirm that Secret Wars will not be split into 2 movies, which is a huge relief. I was really worried that Secret Wars would be split into 2. I don't know if Secret Wars will be delayed to like a May 2028 release. I hope that they're able to still stick to that December 2027 release date. So that's what I think. I think it's going to be other surprise actors in Doomsday this Saturday. And I think maybe a slate. Maybe at this point he does say like, okay, X-Men movie release date. After that we'll get Shang-Chi 2. After that we'll get Black Panther 3, or some kind of combination of those next 3 movies. And then, you know, they're going to want to tell us like the future here. I think they're ready to do that. Hey, thanks Kim. Saying my son now says, now I need a New Rockstars video every time we watch anything. You're definitely a constant in our house. Any Daredevil updates? I love Daredevil. I don't want to spoil anything, but you can see some set photos and videos of like other actors from the Netflix era who are going to show back up in season 3. It really does seem like season 3 is just like fulfilling our full dreams of like what we wanted to come back. It's going to feel like Defenders season 2, more the Daredevil Born Again season 3. But thank you, and you know, I hope that we can continue to live up to these expectations of helping you guys understand what happens after all these shows and movies that we love. And thank you for making us part of the viewing thing. I always love hearing when parents like watch us with their kids. Like as a parent myself, I can't wait for my son to be old enough so we can kind of watch media together, whether it's like a Marvel YouTube channel or just any kind of movie or TV show. Thank you, Bill. Just so you know, you're the GOAT. Been watching for years. Love what you do. Love from the UK. Thank you, Bill. I really, really appreciate the years that you've given us, and hopefully we can continue to deliver. Thank you, B. Jer. Do you think that Doom saved Gambit from the void? Yeah, a lot of people thinking that. I almost so that. Did some other person tweet this, and now you guys are now subscribing to that theory? If so, it's not a bad theory. I think Doom can do better than this version of Gambit, and I don't think Doom needs Gambit right now. If they were gonna do like the Death Gambit thing, but that's such an apocalypse thing, yeah, I don't think Doom needs like a Legion of Warriors. I think he already has like Doctor Strange and Clea who would be serving him. I don't see how Gambit, as this kind of like skilled warrior, is it just like we have the accents team and we have like a weird Cajun accent with a Romanian Latvian accent? I think that I think there are other people who can serve what Doom is trying to do without just someone who and why would Gambit smile when he was being rescued up at Doom? Just a sling ring portal opening. I think if he saw Dr. Doom on the other side of the sling ring portal, he'd be a little like, close it, I'm good. But I don't want to sound like I'm poo-pooing that theory too much. I think it's totally possible. I just haven't thought of it before, and I could see that happening. I just didn't imagine that Doom would be like putting together his team, like gathering his horsemen the way Apocalypse does. And I think he does have a Black Order the way Thanos did, but it's the Black Swans, and I think if they're going to be sticking with that, like other sorcerers, I think are more useful to Doctor Doom than people have like mutant powers the way Gambit does. Another question from Big Boxy Biggie. For if the Fox X-Men have dealt with incursions, do you think Gambit, Toby, Spider-Man, and Deadpool, plus some others, are saved, stuck in this universe, which makes it more of a catalyst to have incursions? Let me think on that for a second. Oh, like they'll be spared? Yeah, I don't think we see Toby in this movie, but I do think a lot of these characters are going to be in Secret Wars. And I don't think it's so much that like Doom like spares people. I think that it's whoever survives when the incursion begins gets to live on in Battleworld, and those people are more likely to be superheroes with web-slinging abilities, or mutants who can kind of fight through rubble, or people who have the technology to get into armored suits or onto life raft ships or something like that. And I don't think specifically the Fox X-Men have dealt with incursions yet. Maybe this is kind of building off of the theory that like the Fox X-Men have gone to the Tobey Spider-Man universe and dealt with an incursion conflict there. I don't think that's a confirmed theory yet. That's just like some kind of leak that might be fan fiction. But yeah, I think if you want to say, if you're referring to the Marvel's post-credit scene, that like Hank McCoy kind of knew what that was about. I do think that yeah, maybe they have dealt with incursions before, but I don't think on this scale, and not ones that like have led to the destruction of their world. Another question here asking, was this identical to the CinemaCon trailer or more? It's mostly identical with the exception of the Loki shot, and there's a couple other smaller shots that were removed. There was this team-up shot here where we got a wider version of the shot where we saw more of them. That was removed. And I believe these rocks might be new. Because this was under the sea before. Yeah, it feel like, but I don't think they're gonna call them horsemen. I just think we're all watching X-Men 97 right now, so we're thinking about horsemen, but like Doom doesn't need or want horsemen. Anytime they'll have me. I love those guys. I need Downey to say, I want my bird. Like Ivan Vanko. Yeah, I love that. Is Loki able to not always be sitting at the end of time? Also, is that Cassie? Yeah, that is Cassie Lang here. Yeah. Catherine Newton is in this movie. And that's what we were talking about earlier. Yeah, I don't know if Loki is anchored to that throne the way that we thought he was. if he can now walk around in an analyst uniform, because I don't think that's a flashback. I think Loki is now. This is in the present. Will Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man, who snapped, come back in any form? Yeah, I would love to see like another scene in the past with Downey just being Iron Man, like living in that memory, even if it's a recording on a screen in the TVA.
When did this
There's
get
a shot of
posted?
Sue
Where?
followed immediately by a shot of Namor. Okay, I hear what you're saying. That like, but I think this version of Sue loves her husband so much. But I think there will be a flirty energy coming from Namor.
Shit, AI is a
Hello,
motherfucker.
Federico. Been watching your channel in Break Room for years. First time watching one of your lives. Thank you for joining us. Angel, I really appreciate your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Afternoon, Evie, with the Ratoons coming back to this one. Ratooness? Would it make sense for Robert Downey Jr. to be playing a Tony Stark variant? It just seems odd to me. Otherwise, lastly, how do casual fans scale Doom as a bigger threat than Thanos? Having trouble understanding the first part of what you said. This one would it make sense for Ryan? Well, I can answer this part. I think the way they've been describing Doctor Doom as a bigger threat than Thanos is just the sorcerer element. The fact that he has a specific rune and magical abilities that are self-taught that can withstand something that would. I mean, this same battle axe could cut through the 6 Infinity Stones of Thanos. The fact that Doom can stop it with 2 fingers, I think that's where you see the power scaling. Is he's got more of a drive than. I mean, Doom was just a Malthusian eco-terrorist who wanted to kill half of all eating people in the universe to avoid a consumption of natural resources. Doctor Doom has a more specific plan involved with 3 different worlds that he's trying to build a new battle world out of. Do you think Wanda will join Doom? I would love it. I mean, Elizabeth Olsen would be like my dream announcement at CinemaCon. Scarlet Witch and Doomsday. I don't think we're going to see it, though. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How does Brandon Day connect to Doomsday? I think whatever the answer is to the mutant question in the movie, what's going on with Jean Grey, I think that will be kind of our answer for what's going on. Thank you. Watching New Rockstars for years, I just want to say thank you to everyone for your commitment to quality coverage of all of our favorites. I really appreciate you, F. Patterson. Why do you think Thor was fighting Doctor Doom alone? Because everyone else is dead. Or maybe everyone else hasn't gotten there yet. Maybe they're all inside and he's just the first on the front. I mean, it's a pretty short fight. Maybe the rest of them are right behind him. But maybe they're all like, hey, you got the God Killer weapon. you take care of it. This person asking, do you think they chose not to use Tom Cruise's superior Iron Man in Multiverse of Madness so that they could leave him as an option for Iron Man in a different universe? I don't think it's like you left Tom Cruise on the cutting room floor. I think if you get Tom Cruise on the phone to be in your movie, he's in the movie. I think that was always talked about. I think the only one who's left on the cutting room floor was Daniel Craig as Balder the Brave. And I think it's bigger than the movie itself if you have Tom Cruise show up like that. I would love to see it. I just think like I don't even think Tom Cruise would want to do it because he's like, I'm all about Digger in 2026, you know? Like yes, Digger will be done, but I think he doesn't want to look like a guy who's cashing in and it's just doing these projects because he believes in them. And I think there might even be some kind of like respect of what Downey is doing. Like, I don't think you're going to have Tom Cruise play a version of Tony Stark in the same movie where Robert Downey Jr. is playing a different character. That's just my thinking. But again, everything's possible in Secret Wars. I keep punting to Secret
Like
Wars
I
in
got
all of these
shit.
dream scenarios because I think we're going to have to wait to see how Doomsday ends and how crazy of a big swing that is to see what's even possible for Secret Wars. Uncle Alert. That's me. Will the sun shine on Thor and Loki once again? Yes, I do think so. Are we going to get a reaction video from your colleagues who had not seen it already before? Well, the issue is everyone at this point in the morning has seen it. I don't think you're going to see an authentic reaction from anyone at New Rockstars. But there will be an episode of The Break Room today, and I'm sure Brian and Berg will talk about it. Do you think the old Steve from Endgame already experienced Doomsday?
It's hot as a
Maybe
bitch.
the
That's why I stay my ass inside.
of Doom are happening in part because of him staying in the past.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not about to watch this whole stream though. I do got a shit. So I'll be back. I got a shit like a motherfucker. Hold up, bro. Man. Hold up. Yo. Alright, y'all. This was my first stream on YouTube. I really just want to test the waters out, see how it was. Um, but yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm about to end stream. Replace that. Replace that. Gotta replace that. But yeah, about to end stream. To those who came in, make sure y'all like, subscribe. Thank y'all for coming. I am about to switch over to hold up, y'all can hear me. I am about to switch over to Twitch, so I'm about to go to live on Twitch right after this. So y'all go get on that Swerve 00K. You know what I'm saying?